As you can see, I'm gathering gravitational energy in my body, keeping my spine straight and falling into him. So this is really, for me, very easy. I'm going to do one more move here on the gluteus medius and gluteus minimus. Okay, now you can hear by the sounds that he's making that that's quite painful for him. So I'm just going to stay in touch with him and make sure that I don't overwhelm him. How you doing? It's feeling good.
It's intense. Some softening is going to it.
Ken maintains a really good relationship to his own breath as we're working here, which really helps assist him in finding his own capacities to self-organize and self-heal. So it's as if he can use the energy that I'm applying to his body, using his breath and his awareness, translate this very specific energy into something that could possibly help reorganize this whole area in a more positive, yes. Did you feel that? Yes. So I got a very subtle but very clear opening of the structures in here just now, and that's a very good sign. That's exactly what I want. So I'm just going to do one last move here, and then I'm going to turn you over, Ken, and we'll do the other side, and we'll be done. Deep rotators of the hip not only affect the hip, but they affect the base of our spine through the origin of the piriformis at the anterior surface of the sacrum. So if something is going on with the piriformis, which is what I suspect because of the sciatic pain that he's experiencing, piriformis is often responsible for that. There can also be piriformal deformation of the sacroiliac joint if it's pulling more on one side than the other, and that can be the beginnings for lower back pain. Okay. So we're giving you a different camera angle for the second side, so that you can observe a little bit more clearly the contact of my hand to the area around the greater trochanter. That's pretty intense there. This will also give you a clearer idea of the slowness of the pace. I really need to allow the soft tissues of Ken's body to adjust to and change slowly toward the pressure and the energy that I'm bringing to bear on the area here. If I move too quickly, I'll create a reflexive response built into the nature, built into the structure of muscle tissue to what I'm doing, and I don't want to do that. Now, if Ken were a lot more afraid of what was going on in his hips, you would notice the threshold of that defensive reflexive response would be much lower, and I would touch him with a half to a third of the pressure that I'm touching him with right now, and he would be pulling his body away from what it is that I'm doing. But obviously he's a very experienced receiver, and that even though the pain is quite intense here, he's able to breathe and relax right into it, and this is really, really good. Okay, last couple of moves. I'm going to use my forearm again on the other side of the greater trochanter. Begin by moving the muscle called the tensor fasciae lata a little bit out of the way so that I can access the gluteus medius first and then the gluteus minimus behind it. I'm getting a lot more deep groans out of Ken on this side, so I'm suspecting the sensation is a little bit more intense on this side than it was on the other. But he's breathing still smoothly. I'm paying very close attention to the smoothness of his breath. If it gets choppy at all, if he starts taking a breath and stopping and then continuing and stopping, that's usually an indication that he can no longer integrate, can no longer tolerate the level of the sensation, and I just have to back it off a little bit. Because in that state of defensive holding, there's no more self-organizing and self-healing that's going on. There's only self-preservation, and that's a very different process. Very different things happen within the autonomic nervous system when we're attempting to self-preserve. How's that feel right there? Probably feels good.
Feels good.
So it's nice to, amidst the very intense moves, to do some feel-good moves too. It's very soothing, again, to the autonomic nervous system to experience some sensations that are pleasurable and not just on the edge. See if I can get the gluteus medius to release on this side as I did on the other. Now this is very edgy for him. I can tell by the quality of his breath and the way he just exhaled there. I'm very close to his edge of pain tolerance here, so I need to be careful. There we go. Did you feel that shift? So again, I got a nice, subtle little shift. Abductors of the hip there. I'm just going to do one last move like this, and then I am going to let him drift a little bit, because after getting this kind of intense specific work, it's really nice just to be able to remain lying down and just have a little bit of time to feel what's going on in the body, how the body is absorbing and integrating the energy that's just been brought into it. There we go. Really nice. There we go. Thank you very much, and see you at YouTube.